Welcome everyone, Mondayvu here, and as you can see I've got some Jurassic World Evolution set up here. I know there's a ton of videos out there already. You can already see, the different missions, how other people have set up their parks, what they've done with their sandbox mode, and all the special, dinosaur interactions and hunts and kills and stuff like that. So I'm not doing this for any of that. I'm doing this for the same reason I always make videos on YouTube. Someone said, hey, I want to see what you're doing with the arena you talked about. So here it is. I put the guest area in here mostly for giggles. I kind of like the idea of people coming to a dinosaur bark. Guess what time it is for me, people? It is late. But I like the idea of guests coming to a dinosaur park just to see them fight. So I just went ahead and set that up for the lulz. And the monorail was just so I didn't have to waste a lot of path going everywhere, because the monorail can be built over almost anything. I think the only thing it can't be built over is the hotel. Hello, Jellybean. 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 Can you... When your video is interrupted by a cat. Come on, Sweet Bean, I need you to go somewhere. Give me just a minute. Okay, so this is going to be an episode where I have a kitty with me because she has decided it is time to snuggle right now. Haven't you, Jellybean? She's my beanie baby. Okay, so basically what I've done is this is going to be the main fighting arena. This is where things are going to go down. The food and water is mostly just so the contestants can kind of be lured in from their respective pens. And I'm going to kind of hold it tournament style. I don't think there's any one dinosaur that has more than 6 skins, so I've got 6 pens set up here, and that way I only have to use 1 hatchery. It'll take a little longer to get everyone that way, but that's okay. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and just start with like the larger dinosaurs and then move on down to the smaller ones. I know some of these will only... Oh, Bean. She left me. Anyway, I know that some of these are only really meant to be like hunted as opposed to fighting. But I don't know what all of the ones will fight back. Like, I think this guy, these guys, this one, and some of the others are just going to, run away. But I'm pretty sure almost all the carnivores will fight each other on some level, at least if they're in a similar weight class. And I'm going to keep the hybrids out of it until later. Like, I'll have a special hybrid round. Because I was doing some of this on my own. And I had, I started off with a Rex and a Spino, the Rex one, and then lost to, I think, an Allosaur. And then the Allosaur lost to the Acrocanthosaur, who proceeded to clean the field until he got to the Indominus. So it was like, okay, so hybrids are last. So I'll just kind of hold, like, competitions per species, then whatever skin wins will be the one that goes into the next round of that. And then I have some pens placed, like, over here and over there. This is kind of like the quote-unquote prize for the survivors. Here they are. Is they get to have, their own little pens. But I also might just make temporary holding pens off to the side, because one of the things, as you can see, these pens are extremely small. Like, I think even the Gallimimus might have a hard time with these pens. So what I've done is I've crawled into the sandbox settings specifically, and I disabled their habitat needs, because that was just going to require way too much space. Granted, we have a ton of space, as you can see, but I wanted to be able to condense things down so I could, take advantage of things like the monorail, not needing to have actual paths everywhere, etc. And I'm sure other people have noticed this who have played the game more often, because I've only recently been able to play. But I did notice that when you have an area like this that's just like all the stuff that, that would be like the behind the scenes and staff only stuff, and you have that hooked up to the monorail, but then all the guest stuff somewhere else, the guests usually don't wind up over here. Usually the only people you see over here look like they work in the park. So I thought that was kind of a fun little attention to detail, considering some of the details that I know a lot of us would like were left out. I know a lot of people are upset about some of those features being gone, but I am not one of them. It's not that I didn't like those features. I just don't like. I missed them a little, but as far as I'm concerned, we got a complete game. The missions were a lot nicer than in JPOG, which everyone wants to compare this game to JPOG. Everybody does. Granted, on the one hand, we got what we asked for in a sense, because it's make your own Jurassic Park. That was the appeal of JPOG. But a lot of people are missing some of the features that were available in JPOG as opposed to this one. And if you're in the know, all that stuff. It's just you know, this is just kind of what happens. So I'll start with the Spinosaur. Well, let's see, hang on. Because I'm kind of using, like, the attack as my identifier for a weight class. Because, like, for example, I know the Carnotaur is smaller than the Carcharodontosaur, but I think the models are similar in size. And I do mean semi, because there is going to be a noticeable difference between the two. But I'm kind of using, like, the base attack as, like, my... Oh, this is roughly their, you know, weight class, because there's no weight over here. They don't give you a size in the genome traits. I know they do if you crawl into the, if you crawl up, I can't think of the name right now because I'm tired. Like, mentally tired. Yeah, if you go into, like, the database, that's the word I'm looking for. If you go to the database and click on dinosaurs, they'll tell you all the info. They'll have the size and stuff up there, but I'm not good at, you know, judging that stuff, like, offhand. Like, I can see a large number to small number and be like, oh yeah, that one's definitely bigger. But if it's only a little bit off, I'm like, that's not that much of a difference, and then the game will probably just throw me for a loop, because video games like to do that. So I'll start with the Spinosaur, and I'm not going to modify anything except for the skin. So we'll get one. We'll get the default one going first. Oh, before I do this, let's go ahead and update to. We'll do 2 increased incubation speeds and a hatchery slot. Another setting that I've tweaked is, you know, money is infinite, and dinosaur lifespan is infinite. And there's a few other things I tweaked as well. Like, I'm keeping the weather the same just so we can kind of see what's going on. But we're just going to start with just the first few skins, kind of let them out, and whoever wins will get to go on to the next round. And we will be naming the dinosaurs. I kind of wish I had this on some kind of a stream so I could be like, what are we going to call this guy? But I'm just going to go with whatever pops into my head, because that's a little faster. I'm not a big YouTuber, not looking to become one. I do this for fun and friends, so that's kind of how I want to keep it. I've honestly had bad experiences with trying to make things, trying to do what I like as any kind of job. That was my entire experience with art colleges. I used to draw a lot, and I was like, I would like to learn how to do this better. But at the same time, I didn't like taking, like, I have an appreciation for artwork that has great detail, and even just semi-detail. But doing it personally, I didn't have much mental patience for, especially since my art was always just kind of like, I do this for fun, I do this for self-expression. And my mom always said, hey, do this, you know, as a career, because, you know, you're so good at it and you really like it. And I always thought, I'm not going to like it if I do it as a career. And lo and behold, I did not like it. Like, I don't draw anymore. It just, college drained me of it. Of course, part of it was also, a major part of it was also just what happened at the 2 colleges I went to. I've probably talked about this in other videos, but for a brief synopsis, one college that had shady stuff going on in the background basically took the animation degree I was going for and said, hey, you're never going to get to draw what you want in the real world, so you can't do it here either. Whereas the better school that I went to, that I only got to go for about a year, because FAFSA sucks, it took that same concept and said, hey, we know you're not going to get to do anything when you get out in the real world, so do what you want now to fuel your passion. So, if I'd gotten the second one first, I'd probably still be drawing. But yeah, I don't want to. That's why I don't want to make things like this my career, because I don't want to sit there and go, oh, I have to make another YouTube video, or oh, I have to do all this editing, or oh, I got to play this game I don't want to play. No, I do this for fun and for friends, and that's about it. I did consider a couple times just kind of maybe trying to make a little money on the side doing it, or maybe doing some Twitch, but no, I don't want to stop enjoying video games. I really, really don't. It's such a big part of my life at this point that, why are you taking so dadgum long? It's really such a big part of my life at this point that I just don't want to take that step. You know, I don't want to find a way to ruin it for me. Okay, so we're 10 minutes in and it's taking forever. But knowing my dumb butt, I'll be like, oh, hey, the dinosaurs are done. Let me undo this, and then I'll forget that I'm recording a video. So for right now, we're going to stick it out. Some of the other settings I did tweak in sandbox mode, besides things like infinite lifespan, infinite money and whatnot, is I turned everything that could be turned to easy mode on easy mode, and I maximized the likelihood of dinosaur attacks. I'm just going to go ahead and open up this gate first, and that'll be for dinosaur number 1 whenever it's done, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, I want to make sure this is something. This maintains something. Bleh. This remains something that I do for fun, because words at 1 a.m. Sometimes elude me. Oh, excuse me. Never mind that. Words often elude me regardless. So I think what I'm going to do, I said I was going to skip the boring building part, but I think now that I'm looking at this, what I'm going to do is, let's see, how many species in the big leagues? Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I need at least 6 pens to the side that'll hold our champions for each species. So I'll go ahead and work on that while we wait for the dang dinosaurs to load. And as you can see, the ones they made over here are kind of nicer. I'll probably put a little bit into these, but this is mostly just to hold the champions until... Oh, hey! Some of them are ready. Okay, let's get you out first. Get the classic Spinosaur. Yes, I know the next one's ready. Alright. No, back out. So, we're going to turn this on. The feeders I am definitely going to be using to do things like lure the dinosaurs to their respective pens. And that'll include trying to get them into the arena. And what I basically plan to do is I'll have 2 of them meet in the arena, fight it out, whichever one lives goes back into here. These are the recovery pens. And then they get to fight whoever is next. Yeah, see, the comfort is 100%. That would not be the case. And this one, the Spinosaur might be happy with the right conditions. But the conditions I turned down because I'm doing, whoops, I'm supposed to click the gate. I'm doing fun stuff as opposed to, trying to actually run a park. So, the next one. And open this gate. Turn on this feeder. And, I really like that we have different colors for this design. But my biggest problem is that all the other ones from here on out, they have, the gray body on the skin and just slightly different colored spines. And that really annoyed me because, this one is, so much more vibrantly colored. I was expecting other colors on the body, too. Nope, just the spine. Thanks, guys. Okay, so you go to your respective hole. Go on. You know you wanna. Get in there. There's food and water. Thank you. Okay, and we'll release the next one. I think the only reason these pens on it being slightly bigger is purely because there's no real way to make, at least not that I found, no real good way to make pens that are 100% to a grid system. I would like to see that kind of an update to the game if possible, but I also know that's a lot of coding. That's a lot of coding. So yeah, this one's a little redder, but you can see it's still just kind of grayish, and the majority of the difference is all on the spine. So, alright, so that's our first 3 skins. No, I want to click the gate, not the dinosaur. There we go. And we'll get the next 3 skins going, and then while that goes, I will build the areas for the survivors, for the ones that win. And we'll incubate this one. And incubate that one. And incubate this one. I'm amused by the vivid pattern because it's one of those weird color palettes that sometimes is this looks hilariously ridiculous. You would never see this. And then other times it's oh, that's actually kind of cool. Some of my online buddies that I played other dinosaur games with are just they're so nitpicky. They're no, it has to be absolutely realistic. And I'm it's a freaking dinosaur, guys. Calm down. Not only is it a dinosaur, it's a dinosaur in a video game. So, you don't have to like it. You can have your own preferences. That's cool. But don't chastise me for having mine. Okay. So we'll just work on pens for the... I want to say survivors. That is technically what they will be. Yeah, still, there's no grid system with the fence. So I can curve it, or I can just kind of wing it and hope it's straight. And there's no straight top-down view when you're building either. I think that would be helpful, honestly, because that's just a matter of positioning the camera different. Because when I'm not building, Look at that. Straight down. I can kind of see, oh yeah, this isn't straight. But yeah, that's the kind of improvement I would like to see. But it's also super minor, and I'm honestly more interested in the train stuff that they're coming out with, which I think will be fun. So I'm just going to kind of... And they'll get slightly nicer pins, too. Trying not to... This is another thing that bugs me, because I've come out here, I've been as straight as possible. Oh! That's the first time it's ever worked. Usually I do that, and it's like, slightly off to the side, and I'm like, no! But sure, yeah, no, if you're going to work that way, then work that way. Because usually it doesn't. And I'm just like, why you do this? Okay. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm not sure any of these are actually straight, but that's okay. I was considering, when I was building this, having an area just for guests to look at the contestants. And when I first built it, it actually looked a lot nicer. It wasn't this, like, big, square, boring thing. I had, like, a set so that there were viewing galleries on both sides of the main arena, plus a viewing gallery for this side and that side of each contestant. But then I realized I haven't seen all the skins on some of these dinosaurs, and I would like to. So I might as well just, kill two birds with one stone. And that way my friends get to, see the skins too, because the friends that I'm filming this for don't play this game, so... Yep, I know. It's nice being able to just see them completely see, like, there's no... You don't have to worry about the grassland, the forest, the population, the social... None of that matters. I imagine the social might matter a little once I get them in the ring. But I'll worry about that when I get there. If I really need to, I will extend these two pens specifically. Because this one's supposed to be a little on the small side. Because, the dinosaurs are supposed to fight. In fact, I'm probably going to go ahead and tweak it a little more. Because one of the problems I had with my other version is... first of all, just getting the two contestants into the main area. And secondly, they... kept getting too stressed out and wanting to... Obstructed by what? The what? Really? Obstructed by what? Anyway, they kept getting too stressed out and wanting to break out of the pen instead of fight each other. And I'm like, no, you're here to fight. Fight each other. And then they wouldn't, so I kind of did this number the last time. So I'm going to kind of do that again real quick. Just to force them to interact with each other. Like, it won't be perfect, but it'll be enough. Hey, there we go. And you see, as you can see, like, it's not, that's like a ridiculous shape. So, for anyone who is OCD watching this, I apologize. But yay, we finally have our next Spino, so we'll release this one. Go ahead and open up this gate. And activate that. I'm going to crawl into the sandbox settings real quick. Variety, rating, I don't care about any of that. Social requirements. Yeah, social requirements are disabled right now. Population requirements are disabled right now. And habitat, yeah, okay. Alright, those were the things that I was concerned about. I just hope that they still fight, because if they don't fight, then I'll have to get rid of that social one. Because, these are carnivores, and if their population is completely satisfied and their social is completely satisfied, we're going to have a little bit of a problem. Alright. Release you next, even though this one's still working on getting in the pen. Alright, close up that gate. Alright, I'm going to activate this one, and I think what I'm going to do for the next videos is I'll just wait until I have all the contestants. Like, when I get to the point of having a different species I'm working on, I'll just wait until they're all in their respective pens, and then we'll move them around to fight as needed. Okay, let's see. This one, does this one? Yeah, this is the one that has the door. Alright, and your turn. So that should be all the skins for the Spino. I'll go ahead and finish getting this taken care of. No, I don't want the Spino. I want the The gate. The gate. Alright, now this gate. And this feeder. There we go. Yeah, this is what I mean. This is the vivid pattern. And, like, it's ridiculous. But it's not as ridiculous as it could be because for whatever reason, the designers decided the Spinos should be gray predominantly. Okay, get in your little pen. The food is right here. Get in your pen. There we go. Give me the gate. The gate. Icon has gate, please. You were there a second ago. Why am I clicking the wall to get the gate? I don't know. But it works. Okay, so the beginning of the stage is set, and I will see you guys in the next video for the actual tournament.